My last video I mentioned that every Los Angeles casino is closed right now, except for those on Indian reservations. We went to Morongo and won 1100, so we thought we'd try our luck at the only other one in the area, Chumash. It's about 2 hours north of Los Angeles by Santa Barbara. It's actually the casino that got me into live poker. I won my first huge hand with pocket sevens in a game way too big, way over my head, and from then on, I was hooked. While in Santa Barbara, I took my girlfriend to her favorite coffee shop, and we also hit up Henry's Dog Beach. But okay, enough of that. It's time for the real reason we came this far, poker. Long lists seem to be in style right now, so we hop on all the boards and we find ourselves in the 1-2 game, waiting for the bigger games. The 1-2 here is super small, which is unfortunate. It's a $40 to $100 buy-in, so we're in for the max obviously. The only real hand to note here, we had Queen 8 of spades. Now, I raise it to 11 pre-flop, we get 3 callers. Flop comes queen high, I bet half pot, a dude shoves, and I call obviously and turn a queen, and we scoop that pot. Ultimately though, we ended up losing $9 in that game. We were there for like an hour waiting for the 3-5, but our name finally got called, so here we go. We're into the 3-5 game for $727. A random number, yes, but that's what we're in for. We look down at Queen of Clubs, 10 of Hearts. I'm on the button and it folds to me, so I'm going to raise this up here to $20 and we get called just by the big blind. Heads up to the flop with 43 in the pot comes King, Jack, Deuce, 2 clubs. We hold the Queen of Clubs in our hand. Without hitting our hand, this is a pretty good board. We obviously have the open-ended straight draw. We can also back into the club flush draw, so when he checks, I decide to bet $20. But he's not going anywhere when he tosses in 4 red chips, and we're off to the turn. 83 in the pot, the turn comes the 3 of clubs, so now we pick up 9 additional outs, so when he checks to us again, I'm not slowing down anytime soon, I bet 55. He doesn't call, he doesn't fold, instead he raises to 165 now, an additional $110. I'm definitely nervous that he hit the flush. That's a probable hand that he could have in the big blind. I'm also not weighing out 2 pair combos, but I just have so much equity and it's just another 110 to win 410, so I put in the call. 413 in the pot, the river comes the Jack of Spades, which is really not the best card in the deck to say the least. I would have loved to pick up a club and potentially beat a lower flush, but now he decides to check. So that puts me in a tough situation because I either have a decision to either bluff or check behind. I think the question that we have to ask ourselves is whether he would ever check to us here after raising the turn to trap and get us to bet. To that I say definitely. I don't think there's that many jacks in his range either, but I could see flushes playing this way all day. For that reason, I don't think I really want to take a stab here and punt my entire stack here on the first hand of note, so I decide to check behind. Result oriented, that's a mistake because unfortunately he shows 2-3. So he had a pair of deuces on the flop, ended up turning 2 pair, but then he got counterfeited on the river, so he definitely would have folded to a bet there. But he's going to take this $413 pot down. Can you guys leave a comment down below? What do you think of me not jamming the river there? Is it a bad check back, or is it probably smart in the long run? $480 in our stack now, and we look down at ace-7 of clubs from the small blind. The hijack bets 20, and the button calls, and I'm going to call here looking to cooler someone with like 2 pair or a flush possibility, and the big blind and the under the gun also calls. 5 ways to the flop here, we got a cool 100 in the pot, comes Jack of diamonds, 5 of spades, 8 of clubs, and we have nothing other than some long shot backdoor draws, so I decide to check. Checks to the button, who bets 55 into 100, and I don't really have enough here to call 55. If it was like 25, 30, 40, something like that maybe. But 55 here, I put in the fold, and the big blind is the only person that calls. We're going to play it out here, though, because it's an interesting development. So the turn comes as 6 of clubs, which would have given us the world, and of course it checks around, so we would have seen a free card too. And guess what the river is? A 9 of diamonds. So I would have rivered a straight. Only reason why I'm showing this is because there was another bet and another call, so we would have won a decent sized pot. Maybe could have shoved and won a lot. $380 in our stack. We look down at ace king of hearts from the button. Pretty hand. Under the gun raises to 20. Same guy that played the deuce 3 and got us. 9 times out of 10 here, I would be 3-betting this in position, somewhere in the neighborhood of $60. But considering this is the player who raised pre with deuce 3, I wanted to get kind of sneaky with him, and I'm in position so I can kind of control the hand. So I decided to flat call his 20. The small blind also calls, so we're going 3 ways to the flop with a premium. 63 in the pot comes king of diamonds, deuce of diamonds, 7 of spades. Nice. As Jamie Gold would say, we have top, and the under the gun position now continues telling the story and fires 45 into 63. I don't want to announce the strength of my hand just yet, so I smooth call, and the small blind gets out of the way. We're off to the turn with 153 in the pot, comes the 6 of spades. It now brings in a backdoor spade draw, but other than that, it's pretty much a complete brick. Under the gun keeps betting, this time to the tune of $60, and at this point I would put a normal player on a king type of hand, but against this guy it's really any 2 cards in his range. And I think for that reason I should be raising here. I need to be getting value from flush draws, but instead I just call here hoping for no diamond on the river. Come on dealer, we're looking for a clean river. 273 in the pot, the river comes as 6 of hearts. Pretty good. Pairs the board, so now we beat deuce 7 if that matters. But the under the gun does not slow down again and puts me to the ultimate test in poker when he says all in and shoves. Covering me, I have around 260 effective. So if you guys could pause the video here and let me know down in the comments what would you do in this situation. Given the action, the flush draw bricked out and the 6-6 run out seems favorable for our hand. He raised under the gun, so pocket deuces and pocket 7s are definitely a possibility. And we block pocket kings, which is good for us as well. Okay, here's what happened. I put in the call. I couldn't fold the 260 to win 790, so that's what I do. I call. And guess what he turns over? The Happy Meal. You guys know what the Happy Meal is? 6-9 of diamonds. He rivered trips. He backed into trips. Obviously, he had the flush draw on the flop, so he had a lot of equity, and I think he was going to be calling a shove on the turn. In fact, he did. He said he was going to be calling a shove on the turn. So in hindsight, even if we would have protected our hand by shoving the turn, he still would have called and would have lost, but that's very results oriented. I think next time I get into a situation like this, I'll definitely put max pressure on the turn. But in this hand, his bad play gets rewarded, and he stacks us in a $793 pot. Fortunately, after those 2 bad beats with him, I'm not in the mood to keep playing. Sometimes you just need to know when to walk away, and you aren't playing your best, and this is definitely one of those times. We ended up cashing out 4 white chips though, so it wasn't a total goose egg. After playing for a little bit, we stop at the Rosewood Hotel Miramar Beach in Montecito on the way back with the girlfriend to check out the Christmas lights. It was beautiful. If you haven't been up to this hotel before, I would highly recommend it. It's located on a public beach, so you're able to freely roam the property without them getting mad at you. They also have their own bocce ball field, a huge gym, and for those fashionistas out there, they have a James Pierce store on property. It's a very East Coast dapper style with a little cabanas that you can rent out and stay overnight in. And if you guys are familiar with the LA area, it's owned by Caruso, who is the same person who did the Grove in Los Angeles and the Palisades Village in Pacific Palisades, which are all great spots to check out if you haven't already. Man, that was brutal. We got into the game for around 700 and change. We ended up losing 732. The only saving grace was that we got 4 chips that didn't count. Even if I shoved the turn there, the guy still calls, which I probably should have shoved anyways to protect, but he ran into trips on the river. That's the guy who also got us in the other hand, so just unfortunate, but yeah, every trip can't be a winning one or a small losing one, so I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for supporting. I need a like, I need a like badly for this one because I'm going to post this video anyways. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace. Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Click my head below to subscribe and stay in the loop. See you next time.